got to register and log in and set that up, is when you go in here. Actually, you know what? This is the wrong one. Dang it.
Hey, Jason.
Which one was it that I gave you guys? Yeah.
You gave me the hamexam.org.
Hamexam.org. Okay, I'm at the wrong one. It's hamexam. That's why I couldn't log in.
Yep.
That makes sense. There you go. That's much better. This is the one that I used. And you log in. Let me see. Actually, my password might work here.
12 seconds later.
Here we go. So once you log in, you set up an account. What you first got to do is you want to go and you want to set up your filters. So when these boxes are check marked, this is the question pool that you're going to pull from. Okay. So if you go through and you just like right now, I just got the first two sections. All right. Section 0 and section 1. We'll go up here and we'll check mark them. And then all the other ones, if you look here, none of the other ones are marked. So as you get proficient in one or two sections, then you go in and you check mark the next section, turn them all on, and then you go back to that. And this thing gets so specific in its stats. Oh yeah, make sure you click update filters when you change it, or it will not update the filters. So this thing gets so proficient, it'll tell you what section it is that you're doing good in and what section you're doing bad. It'll break it all down. Like the red ones are wrong. I mean, you guys can look here. This is what I use to take my test. And this is what I used to train people last time I taught a class. And I still don't have every question on here right. My average score is only 44%, and I passed.
D plus? Oh my God. I passed.
All right. Do them all. Obviously, I did them all on this. Number 3, obviously, I didn't do so great. That's probably my worst section there. But you can look, you know, section 1, I was getting 80%, 86%. Section 3, that's like propagation modes and radio waves and science behind it. I'm like oblivious at the time. I've learned it a lot more since then. I really need to go through this and, you know, just kind of take the test again to prove that I know all this stuff. But you can see I was like on most things on here, I was 50%. If you look at that, the one section there, we got 33%. But as you can see, the majority of your questions, 67 questions come from just section 1. 57 questions come from 5, and then I think 9 was the other one. But I just go through, and as you, like I said, when you set just that one section, then when you go in here to practice, you go to not question pool, you go to flashcards. And the HamExam does this too. Don't get me wrong, the one that I was showing Jim, HamExam does it too. I just kind of like this interface a little bit better. But like say you ask the question, what is a good way to guard against electrical shock at your station? You know, connect all AC to a confirmed safety ground, use a ground fault interrupter, or use 3-wire cords or plugs for all AC power equipment. The correct answer to this is all of the above, all right? But if you don't know it, you hit skip, and then it tells you. So next time, in about 4 or 5 questions, that question will come back up again. And so after you see it so many times, it's like, I really don't know that. Then only answer the questions you absolutely know. Only answer the questions you absolutely know. only answer the questions you absolutely know. If you don't know, don't guess. Hit I don't know. That way you're being honest with yourself and you're being honest with the program. I don't know the answer to that question, so I'm just going to skip it and it'll tell you. Then you read it. So next time you read and that question comes up, you should know by that point, this question, the answer is number D. All the choices are above are correct. And that's how I went through it. And I just kept going. Which of the following is important safety rule to remember when using a crank up tower? The type of tower must never be grounded. That's false. This type of tower must never be painted. That's false. All these are correct. That's obviously false because I already said the first two were wrong. So the only one of these that could be right is this type of tower must never be climbed unless it's retracted or a mechanical safety device has been installed to keep it, because it's an expandable tower. So you don't want that tower climbing it and then all of a sudden it comes slamming back down, you're screwed. So obviously number D is the correct one, and you submit it and it tells you, yeah, you got it right, and then there's the next question. So this hamexam.org, and I'm sorry at first, I knew it didn't look right, but like I said, I kind of doing this as spur of the moment. This is what I used to take the test, and you guys see my stats on there. I was pretty much 50% across the board. I was a little bit more knowledgeable in some of the stuff. I was up in the 80s on some of the sections. And in that one section, section 3, I really blew that one. 33%. That's about wave propagation and all that stuff, which I'm learning. I bet you if I took that section now, I'd probably do a lot better because I understand the theory behind ratings. And that's the point here, folks, is just to get you your license to push the talk. It's just to get you your license to push the talk. It's just to get you your license to push the talk. Once you get your license to push the talk, then you can be in the know and you can be with us and communicating with us. And, you know, James and Ron and I, a lot of guys, we just hang out on the repeater. Any questions? Anybody want to talk now and ask any questions? Do you kind of understand the gist of it?
Silence is golden.
Silence is golden. Reggie, yeah.
Hey, I just want to note, you know, why you were on the other program is because the one I was studying from, also free, if you're on your laptop or whatnot, not if you're on a tablet, you can get the app, but otherwise you just go online. But that was the hamstudy.org, which is another free source and a good one, but this one looks good, maybe even better, is your hamexam.org or whatnot. So that's even yet another tool in a toolbox to study and learn from. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I kind of played around with them both, and I just found that I like this one better. It's kind of old school, kind of, you know, rough looking. It's not all fancy and pretty, but to me, it was just easier for me to figure out and navigate and, you know, get to where I needed to go to practice for my test. And so what you're doing is it identifies what areas you don't know and helps you focus on learning those specific areas, and you can skip the areas that you don't know. Then the next step I do, after I'm across the board, I'm getting, you know, 60 or 70 or 80% or higher, you know, every time I take the question pool, I'm doing that in the flashcards. Because remember, we're going to flashcards. Then I go to the practice exam and I start taking the practice exam. All right. And the practice exams are specific questions. There's what? How many different exams? There's like 12?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, there's something like 12 different exams, and you're going to get the questions, you know, if you take the test once, you'll have that set of questions. The next time you take it, you know, you can have another set of completely different questions. Usually you get pretty much the same questions on a lot of the tests. They just change a few of them in there to kind of mess you up. So, you know, you may take it a second time and you know, my thing is when I went, you know, I was only honestly doing 50, 60% in the quizzes. my thing was, it's like, look, I got a 50% chance of passing this. I'm gonna go, and if I fail it, I'm gonna go through the test quick enough that I could potentially take it with the camera because I snapped. Did you see that? It won't do that. Anyway, so there we went. So I figured, if I failed it, I took the test quickly, the guys would let me take it again, if they still had people taking the test. So that was kind of my mentality behind it. I just got lucky. I passed it on the first try. I missed exactly 9, the minimum or the maximum that you could miss.
Yeah.
And boom, I got my license.
Yeah, it's been a while for me since I took both my technician and my general test. But this is the, I don't know if this is the one that I use or if it's the one that Reggie had mentioned, but the flashcards to me is the key to the whole thing. It's the repetition. And like Jason said, you go to the flashcards, if you're not sure of an answer, just say skip and it'll tell you the answer. So next time it's going to roll around again, it's going to ask you that question and you're eventually going to know, it's going to sink in. When I did the test, they told me, at least the app that I was using, which one this was, I'm not sure. They said, if you can do 80% in their mock test, you can go out and take the test and basically successfully pass. And I did on both cases. So.
Yeah, that's what I was told too. 80% and you're going to pass it. There's no question about it. If you get 80% on this test, you're going to pass. Anything less than that, you got kind of you may or may not. You can give it a shot. If you're not doing anything and the test is free, one weekend and you've been practicing and you're getting 50, 60%, go try it. Worst thing you're going to do is you're going to fail it and just try it again next time.
Right.
Who cares?